Greetings, this is Dani from Cradle of Filth, and you're watching Alexandrosis. And yeah, I just struggle with that one. But I'm here just to remind you not only to watch this channel, but to enjoy our new album, The Screaming of the Valkyries, which comes out on March the 21st.
Cradle of Filth está de regreso con The Screaming of the Valkyries, es decir, el decimocuarto álbum de estudio de esta agrupación de metal extremo que ha dado mucho de qué hablar desde finales de los años 90. Dani Filth, cantante y fundador de la banda, nos va a brindar en este video más detalles acerca de esta producción que contiene 9 canciones y que se encuentra disponible en las diferentes plataformas de streaming. Además, nos contará de un posible regreso en concierto a Colombia, la censura que siempre le ha perseguido y la tan rumorada colaboración entre Cradle of Filth y la superestrella del pop Ed Sheeran. Esto es Alejandrosis, sean ustedes bienvenidos. Quiero invitarlos a que se suscriban al canal de Alejandrosis si aún no lo han hecho, activen las notificaciones y si les gusta este video por favor lo compartan y me brinden un me gusta. Cradle of Filth es de esas bandas que cuando irrumpió en la escena no pasó para nada inadvertida. Con su tercer álbum de estudio, Cruelty and the Beast, editado en 1998, causaron toda una revolución. Era una herejía para los amantes del metal más extremo, del black metal tradicional, pero para un nuevo público fue una sensación al saber traer toda la estética gótica con un black mucho más abierto y bueno, los resultados es que hoy ese disco es un clásico. En este canal, junto a mi compañero, el profe Reverendo, tuvimos la oportunidad de comentar este disco en vinilo a propósito de sus bodas de plata que fueron hace un par de años. Por aquí les voy a dejar el enlace. Y bueno, el presente de Cradle of Filth es con Screaming of the Valkyries, su disco 2025 que en una escucha para mí trae algunos elementos de lo que la agrupación estaba proponiendo a inicios del milenio. Les hablo de álbumes como Nymphetamine y Median, bueno, todo este tándem de guitarras que hay ahora, atmósferas sombrías y también la corrosiva garganta de Dani Filth, nuestro invitado. La primera pregunta para él tiene mucho que ver con esa nostalgia de los años 90, cuando no había internet, cuando los discos tenían un proceso más largo entre sencillos, se publicaban, luego aparecían los videoclips, reseñas y entrevistas en las revistas, en la prensa, todo tomaba su tiempo. Hoy, con las redes sociales, pues la interacción es inmediata. Así que partamos por ahí. ¿Qué le gustaba más a Dani Filth? ¿Los viejos tiempos o esta era que estamos viviendo de conexión total?
Well, naturally, the feedback's more direct today because people can immediately comment on social media and YouTube. I prefer it back in the day. It was a slower process, but only on the build up to being a well-established band. Once you were established, it wasn't so bad, and there was a lot more print material. So we had more front covers, more interaction with magazines. And although it wasn't as, I mean, it was as informative, it just didn't give too much away. Nowadays, I feel like everybody wants more and more and more, and then you get a new album and then they're bored of it in a few minutes because there's so much more immediacy elsewhere. Yeah, so I would say it was better now for the reaction of the fans on the day. Obviously, prior to the internet, that would take a lot longer, but I preferred it before the internet came along, for sure.
Okay. Talking about the technology, now a lot of people hear your album right here, not in a stereo. Do you like the vinyl? You are romantic about the analog sound? Do you prefer that the people hear your music with a good LP or CD, or do you don't care if people hear that and finally hear the
I mean,
product?
they can listen to it anywhere they still see fit. I'm not a dictator, but I would prefer people to hear it on CD above everything else, and vinyl if need be. But quite happy with CD. Um, yeah, that's how I listen to everything on CDs. Um, but yeah, as I said, it's not a dictatorship, and people have different ways of viewing things and different lifestyles, and whatever works for them works for them. If that's how they enjoy the music, then albeit.
Okay, I've been impressed by the production of these singles. It's quite clear with great balance between the instruments and your voice. I sound so perfect, so fresh, so clear. If you allow me, could you tell me a little about the production and the composition? I know that you write all the lyrics, but you make, for example, I don't know, notes or ideas about the riffs
Yeah,
in this.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's I can't really describe the writing process because it's different every time, but generally we collate riffs, we build songs, we um work on the songs. um Obviously I write the lyrics after the majority of the time. I might have ideas before, but I generally write lyrics afterwards. And then I steer the ship by saying, this needs to be changed, this needs to be changed. Our producer Scott Atkins gets involved. That's really about it, and it takes a while. We're still um, playing around with mixes in the studio, and well, obviously naturally, but building songs and change. I mean, there is no, I can't really tell you how we do it because it changes from day to day. It's not, there's no fixed way other than we start at the beginning and we've finished songs.
Okay, I would like to ask you about some of the titles that caught my attention. Exsanguine Draculae. I love that title. Obviously, I suppose to refers of the blood of Dracula, an enigmatic character who continues to fascinate the world to this day. What can you tell me about that song?
It just related to me. It's a very fast dissection style song. It was one of the few songs that when it was written, I immediately had goosebumps, knew exactly what it's going to be about. And the song is all about escapism. And yeah, but the blood of Dracula is into like a family atmosphere, like belonging to a bloodline, to a cult, to a sect, to this gothic lifestyle. Um, Yeah, like I say, it was one of the first songs that we wrote, and it's probably my favorite on the album.
Okay, your three videos of this record are amazing. Congratulations! It's absolute horror films. For example, Magnifical Perfection. It's a true Halloween tale. And To Live Deliciously, it's bloody and it's demonic. I love it. I was fascinated also by White Hellebore. Hellebore. It's so ethereal, a piece of love and desire beyond that, you know. Do you work on the concept of these videos, and do you still enjoy the whole process involved in filming them?
Oh yeah, I absolutely adore being involved with the videos, and yes, the concepts were discussed between myself and the director, and also the costume makers, or the costume maker Missy Munster. Um, and then we just took it from there. What I don't like about doing videos is waiting too long. Um, some of them took a while. The second video, To Live Deliciously, was delayed because of the fires in LA. Because the we'd already filmed the band stuff in the Czech Republic in the summer when we were about to embark on a tour in Europe. But the actual content, the filmed content of the nun and the priest, was being filmed in LA, and so subsequently there was a delay because of the fire, because it ravaged the area where the studio was. Studio didn't get damaged, but it was full of smoke, so it had to be deep cleaned as well. So there was a delay there, which is a bit frustrating. But generally, yeah, I love being involved with the videos and trying to make them as good as possible. Everybody nowadays tries to make you do lyric videos because obviously it's cheaper, but I hate lyric videos. I mean, I love writing lyrics, don't get me wrong. I love people appreciating my lyrics, but I don't like lyric videos. I just think it's a really cheap and nasty way out of doing videos. And to be honest, I'd rather not have one at all than go down that route, because I just love doing proper videos properly. And I think as a band, if we can't do something properly into the way we like it, we just don't bother. I don't think we did our first video until From the Cradle to Enslave, which was what, 3 albums and 2 EPs into our career.
Speaking about the videos, To Live Deliciously is quite dirty, savage, and of course anti-religious. I was surprised not to see the YouTube label indicating that it's inappropriate content.
That's weird. I haven't seen that either. It's strange.
Since the days of your famous Jesus is a Cunt t-shirt, you caused so much controversy, not to mention your band's aesthetic. Censorship has been there. Do you think censorship today is stronger, the same, or has changed and affect you?
I think it's, strangely enough, less censored nowadays. What you see at the beginning is something like The Walking Dead, before the credits even come up. You see stuff that would have been banned in the late 70s, early 80s. And indeed, people went to prison on a day called Black Friday, where they raided people's homes and businesses looking for X-rated movies, which were basically horror, video nasties. That's what they called them. But the content that caused so much controversy back then really pales in comparison to what you can see now on a 15 movie, let alone an 18, let alone an X. So I think we've become more tolerant of things that we understand aren't a danger. Because if you start censoring film, you're going to start censoring video games. Start censoring video games, you have to start censoring art, literature, music. And I think people know it's just escapism. I'd much rather watch a gore movie than read about, Russia hitting another apartment block in the Ukraine.
Eso es muy cierto. Uno ve las imágenes de lo que ocurre en Ucrania, en Palestina, incluso en nuestro país, y la realidad resulta más brutal y sangrienta que cualquier cosa que pueda exponer esta música, que al final del día no es más que entretenimiento. Cradle of Filth ha estado en 5 oportunidades en nuestro país. Su debut se produjo en el año 2004 con un show en el Coliseo El Salitre. Yo estuve allí y lo que más recuerdo es la mala acústica del lugar. Además de que nuestros amigos de la Policía Nacional nos mandaron a casa con gases lacrimógenos. Ese mismo año, Cradle of Filth tocó en Pereira, 3 años después en Medellín, y su show más reciente sucedió en el Teatro Astor Plaza de Bogotá hace 2 años. Una de las cosas que más me llama la atención de las presentaciones de Cradle of Filth es la alta presencia femenina. Es mucho mayor que la que se puede ver en otros grupos. Cuando Cradle of Filth toca, las mujeres se ponen sus mejores ropas, se aplican su maquillaje sombrío y además lucen con un look genial. Eso lo sabe muy bien Dani Filth, y es por eso que la banda tiene ahora una colaboración con una marca de ropa de alta costura. Es decir que prendas alusivas a Cradle of Filth ya se pueden ver en las pasarelas de moda de París. Por ahí sigue nuestra conversación con nuestro invitado.
Well, there was a big company. I won't say who they are because they'd sue me, but they basically stole our logo and started printing high-end garments with our logo. And then last year we were approached by Vetements, which is another very high-end clothing line, and they just wanted to do it properly. So they designed a few garments that bore the like a similarity with Cradle and some ideas from Cradle, and they made some garments which they showed at a Parisian Paris show, a really big one, really super famous models and everything like that last year, and the buyers loved it. So we're actually doing a full, they call it a capsule, so it's like lots of different variations of a collaboration between Cradle and this high-end fashion house. And I love it because it's just something so far-fetched, and other people just wouldn't think about doing it. It's like a marriage of extremes, just like our collaboration with Ed Sheeran, for example. Everybody's like, no, that can't possibly happen, and if it does, it's going to sound rubbish. And it doesn't. It sounds amazing, and it hasn't changed the fact that it's Cradle of Filth. It's still got a blast beat in it. It's still got screams. It just so happens to have a mega star on there as well. And I love that juxtaposition, and I love the juxtaposition with working with a high-end fashion house that are going to, you know, it's going to enter lots of Parisian fashion shows and get seen on the runways and be in fashion magazines. And it's like, wow, that's cool. It's just unheard of.
Yeah, nice. Talking about Cradle playing here in Colombia and in Bogota, you played here a couple of years ago. Do you have memories of my country? And also with this new album, we can expect a new South American tour soon?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We definitely have a South American tour coming soon. I can't jinx it because the dates are being put together now, so I couldn't even tell you what the dates are because I don't know them. But it should be for later this year. And yeah, as for Colombia, I distinctly remember playing Medellin, and I had a great time every time we come to Colombia. The last time was cool too. I really liked the venue we played last time, actually. Yeah, it's always very sleepless when we play South America because we always like fly in, do the show, and then fly out. And yeah, most of the time I just remember just feeling like a bit, lightheaded with just altitude sickness as well. But it's all good. I love playing in South America. It's just it's a great place to holiday as well. It's just a continent full of surprises and color and culture and greenery. I love the temperament as well, and the climate and the nature.
Okay, wonderful. Your guitarist Marek Smerda and your new keyboardist Zoe Fedorov get married. It's a big news in the metal world. I often hear musicians said that their bandmates sometimes are like their wives, and that's why it's not easy to get along. Are you worried that having a real marriage within your band, maybe personal issues affect the music of the lineup?
No, well, that may happen, but it's happened before, so I'm not worried about that. I mean, it's happened before with other members, that's what I'm saying. But no, Zoe and Ashok have been together for 2 years, and everything's been fine up until here. And yeah, we all attended their wedding in Arizona at the beginning of the year. And that was really good fun. There were other metal musicians from other bands there as well. We just spent a week in Arizona, in Tucson, actually, visiting places, shooting guns, eating a lot, going to a wedding. It was great. I loved it.
Como les decía al inicio del video, Cradle of Filth ha sido siempre un grupo de amores y de odios. Cuando se empezó a hacer popular, Para los seguidores del metal más pesado, pues era una banda comercial que estaba tomando elementos del black metal, los estaba llevando a las masas, estaban haciendo algo pop. Recuerdo estar en el colegio en los días de la popularidad de Cruelty and the Beast y que, bueno, no faltaban los que decían que eso era música vendida o el término casposa, porque sencillamente no estaba en la línea de lo que habían hecho grupos anteriores como Mayhem, Emperor, Dissection, es decir, toda esta primera ola del black metal en Noruega, con todo esa imaginería, ¿no? Todos esos sucesos que sucedieron allí y que son muy bien conocidos. Cradle of Filth se ha alejado de eso, pero ¿qué tan vendidos han sido? ¿Y qué opina Dani Filth al respecto?
The people that say that we're a sellout probably weren't even alive when we had Dissection supporting us, or when we did the first ever tour that Emperor ever did, or when we played with Impaled Nazarene in Finland, or all these other black metal bands that we've played with all over the years. Some of those critics were probably in their nappies. So, I mean, I'm not quite sure what true means, to be honest. I think longevity proves our position on everything. And yeah, I mean, it's now been 31 years as a professional band. And by say professional, I mean since the debut album, because I consider that as the beginning of being professional. I wouldn't have it from when you first started a demo. It's like, you're not even really a band when you first form. You're just sort of stuttering, trying to find your steps. So I'd say 31 years, sorry, of being professional, and that longevity, I think, proves our worth. And yeah, people can label us whatever they want, to be honest. And yeah, we have changed over the years. The Principle of Evil My Flesh is vastly different from plenty of other of our albums. Amphetamine, Damnation and a Day, Hammer of the Witches. It's just the way it is. Tom Araya once famously said, look, we can't do another Rain in Blood, even if we wanted to. If we tried to do it, it would come out completely different. He said it was a product of the time. I'm not quoting him exactly, but thereabouts. Of all the influences of that particular time, whether it was Rick Rubin or in fact it was Autumn, and what was going on in the world, who the LA Raiders were playing, it's just all these things that influenced that album. And you should be happy that album actually exists. And this is the premise that I follow as well. I totally agree with him that bands need to explore and reinvent themselves. But that being said, I think this album has plenty of stuff on it that will appeal to older fans, because it appealed to me when the songs are being written. I reminisced and got that nostalgic feeling from listening to the songs. And that's what inspired, like I said, about Ex Sanguine Draculae as well. That Non Omnis Moria, You Are My Nautilus, these things immediately conjured up imagery that I started writing lyrics for.
Wonderful. Final question. There has been a lot of talk about the collaboration between you and Mr. Ed Sheeran. When will we release it? It is a song featuring Ed featuring Dani Filth, or Cradle featuring Ed? Do you both sing?
It's Cradle of Filth featuring Ed Sheeran, and it's an original song. It's not a joke. It's been recorded. We're going to release it when we see fit. We're not going to release it now because we've just released a new album, and curiosity will get the better of people and it will overshadow the album because you've got a superstar on it. His fans are going to want to hear it too. So we can't release it at the moment because there's like a blast radius around it that says no. And now Ed's got one coming up as well, which I can only presume is a new album for him. I don't know. So when both of these albums have died down, we'll be looking to release it. But we're no rush. It's recorded. Sounds amazing. It's not going anywhere. So, yeah.
Perfecto, ya lo saben, no se trata de un chiste esta colaboración entre Cradle of Filth y Ed Sheeran. Me muero de ganas por escuchar este cruce entre dos mundos. A su vez, espero que les haya gustado esta entrevista. Agradecer a la gente del sello Napalm Records por el contacto. Quiero preguntarles cómo les parece Screaming of the Valkyries. Voy a estar muy pendiente aquí en los comentarios. De nuevo, los invito a suscribirse al canal de Alejandrosis, donde tenemos todo en cuanto al rock y el metal. También quiero invitarlos a que me sigan en mis redes sociales, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Muy pronto nos vemos aquí para hablar de la música que más nos gusta. Hasta pronto.